Honkai Impact released Part 2, also known as Act 2 of Chapter 36. So let's go ahead and see the continuation of this story. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen now. Looks like we're back in Nagazora here outside. Let's go see what's up. More enemies to fight.
この気候たち、私たちが戻るのを阻止してるの。とりあえず倒しましょう。お願い。
I remember from last time that the trap got broken into, so we're going back to the hideout place. I remember now. Let's go ahead and put these here. Activate our ult here. Whoa, something's spawning there. I don't know what it is. There we go. Managed to dodge it and win it there. Quickly, whoa, a little lag there, but let's go ahead and continue here. What? Wait, where are we supposed to? Oh, there we go. Let's go back to the safe house and see how things are. Yeah, let's go. Celia and the rest left behind the wreck next and made their way to the not so safe house where they had transmitted to the what? They breached the door open. These guys aren't exactly subtle. It's a good thing I took all of my valuables with me. My Valkyrie guide, my emergency transporter, my cell phone. And sure enough, the place has been raided. Susanna, I remember you saying the interim security office lent you this place. What was it originally used for? It used to be Nagazora's police department examination room, but it was abandoned. I got my BioClue analyzer from here. Speaking of, right, the biological information database should still be intact, right? I'll go check. Sounds good. I'll use the time to look around some more. So it looks like we're gonna be looking around for some context clues on what happened, on how it got robbed. And also last time there was like a little breach from time somewhere around here, but I'm not too sure if that will even get mentioned next time. This place were here from hours ago to communicate it, but the communication device they had used was still intact. Okay, that's good to hear. So why would Incognito want to attack this place? But who even is Incognito though? We have heard of them, but we never seen them. Their possessions are made, but nothing seems to be lost. The more valuable looking glass. At least they didn't come for the money. Money? Jesus, man, how much money they have stored here. Whoa, you see this little thing again. Like, what's that about? What is this? Yeah, now Celia is like noticing it. I hope she says something about it. This is... Whoa, what the hell? A severed arm laid on the floor. Celia was shocked at first, but then realized it wasn't a human limb. On a closer inspection, she could see it was made of a glossy black metal. Is this a prosthetic limb? Wait, is this the Gray Serpent? Laying by the door like this, it seems like a member of Incognito fell for Susanna's trap. But what is the prosthetic limb doing here? Machines can continue to move even after losing their lives, or rather, from the outset, a machine doesn't need life in order for there to be movement. Even though it was just a lone severed arm, there seemed to be some sort of vitality to it. The mechanical fingers were open, as though trying to hold or maybe even convince something. That arm looks similar to Gray Serpent. Is Incognito Gray Serpent? As expected. What is it, Susanna? I went to the storage room to have a look. The database has been disassembled and tools have been taken. That's all that's left is this analyzer. Now even if we get fingerprints or a hair sample from a member of Incognito, there'd be no way to cross-reference it. Wait, so this was their motive? But if that's true... At that moment, the door of the safe house opened gently and Sora walked in. Ah, Sora-chan, you're back. Yep, The theft in the warehouse has been handed over to the police. Alright. And I heard the fight here had finished, so I came to join you. So, Miss Silly, did you catch any members of Incognito? They got away. It doesn't seem like they ever wanted a fight, but she could have mentioned the arm though. She could have mentioned that arm. So they came here looking for something too. Oh, now that you mention it, a moment later. Oh no, that can't be right. These are all the clues we have got. What about the arm? And we didn't find any fingerprints or hair here either. Although it will be difficult to cross-reference them even if they did. Not a single clue. This must be Incognito's MO. But Miss Sealy found a prosthetic limb, no? So we know Incognito is in some supernatural force that it disappears without a trace. They can be hurt, right? I didn't get a strong sense of oppression when I first came to Nagazora or when I fought with Incognito. Well, that's just because you're strong, right, Sealy? Yeah, strong girl Sealy. It's not just a question of strength. Their actions haven't seemed to be very well thought out. It's almost as if there are a ton of blind spots for us to catch. But then why haven't we been able to find where they are at or who they are? At least we were making progress, Miss Sealy. The owner explained he had been stealing medical supplies from warehouses abandoned after the Great Eruption and had been selling them on the black market for months, just like you said. The reason he was after medical supplies was other than his own experience. Medicine is as good as cash following the Great Eruption. Some people can find a way to turn any hardship into a business opportunity. Taking in nutrients, this is the nature of animals. That's what my teacher told me. But my teacher also said we're not animals, we're people, so we have human nature, not animal nature. Sounds like someone's good at teaching children, but it reminds me. Anyway, with this testimony, it should be easy to follow the stolen goods. The police can pick up the trail and continue the investigation. But Incognito still has the supplies that were stolen during the previous raid, like sheep in a tiger's mouth. Stolen goods. It still doesn't seem to fit together. The information is vaguely related, but I can't draw any conclusions yet. What do you do in this situation? Everyone says try to find something you're missing or change your perception. And then she recalled someone that shared her name, but a different perspective. The other Sealy. Since she had arrived at Nagazora, she made an attempt not to call her out, and it seems there was a tacit understanding that there was no need for her to make an appearance. Perhaps this made her a bit lonely, but it's clear this wasn't the time to think about that. No, I have got this. I can do this by myself, whether it's fighting or strategizing. I can come up with any answer on my own. ... Sora-chan, Susanna, I have been thinking, we are actually not far from knowing the truth about Incognito. Huh? Really? That's right. Susanna, do you remember where it was the first time Incognito had appeared in Nagazora? If I recall, they were after a chemical malfunctioning plant in Nagazora. Right, in fact, afterwards, their target seems to share something in common. And that's all the abandoned buildings, something to the Honkai. Yeah, I feel like this is it. All other targets are related to medical technology. The chemical plant is part of a pharmaceutical company. The warehouse was storing stolen goods. That drunken resident we met said his pharmacy was also raided. As for the safe house, I don't believe the target was the database, but the samples and tools. That's right. They thought they destroyed the database to conceal their identity. It's not like we had a sample of their hair or their fingerprints, so there wasn't need to attack the database. Also, I have a suspicion they didn't know where our safe house was. So Incognito and the warehouse owner share the same goal, to sell medical supplies on the black market? I don't think it's so simple. It looks like they have some kind of connection to World Serpent. Even now with World Serpent gone, they still have such a large amount of mechas. It seems like as far as money goes, Incognito is flush with cash. And shouldn't the police have recovered some stolen goods by now? Even in the black market, those supplies should be leaving some sort of trail. Silly, you're saying that the goods were left behind by Incognito themselves? Damn, the imposters among us. But what would they be doing with all of that medical equipment? You don't think they're all sick, do you? No, I doubt all members of Incognito are sick. Huh. Because Incognito is known other than a legion of androids, formers of the World Serpent, because it doesn't make sense, because they're zombies, because they're mechs. Androids may be, but it does make a lot of connections with World Serpent because of that arm. Even though they have World Serpent mechs, but that alone doesn't explain it. World Serpent are believers and thinkers, but Incognito doesn't match their MO. That's because Incognito is really... Because Incognito is none other than a legion of androids. I noticed some discrepancies during my investigation earlier. No one has ever seen Incognito's face, and they have never left behind hair, body fluids, or fingerprints. But they aren't very discreet when they are on the move. Maybe they get caught by some kid on the streets or have to engage in a fight like we first got here. Something about it seems off, like they were able to put together a well-thought-out plan but failed to follow through on every detail. It's like Incognito has the sharp mind but a weak body. It's like a puppet being guided by a string. It's almost as if Incognito's face has never been seen and no biological trace has been left behind. Isn't it because they are so discreet? But because it would be impossible to see their face or for them to leave evidence behind. You don't mean, right? And the medical limb we found is another piece of the evidence. I don't think that arm was the only mechanical part of its owner's body. Incognito is just a group of low-grade androids. Even if you did see under their clothes, there's nothing to see. Adults don't believe and think they must have just missed their face. Whereas children say it exactly as they saw it, but no one believes them. They even go as far to wear cloaks to conceal their identity. Put humans' clothes on a fake person and people would treat them like they are human too. So Incognito is a group of androids that steal medical supplies? That's so strange. What would they need with all of those supplies? Do androids need that stuff too? Yeah, who knows? Right, even though she had finally deducted their culprit's identity, she couldn't pin down a motive. Inanimate humanoid monsters came out at night to steal life-giving supplies. It was a horrific thought, if not an absurd one as well. But she knew better from experience. Underneath the absurdity, there was always a reason that would make sense. I don't know their motive yet, but at least now that we know what they are, we can predict their next move. No, not predict. What we need to do is control their next action. The block we went to that night, in the daytime it's silent and it remains silent through the night. There is no life at night born from the death of day. There is no ritual that can restore life to that place. This was going through the cloaked figure's mind, who then felt annoyed at such useless thoughts. Remnants of thoughts weren't helpful to the plan at this point. In fact, the purpose of the plan was to eliminate such an experiment. Inorganic life forms began to surround the warehouse. Just a few hours ago, they had intercepted a report from Nagazora's interim security office. Incognito's leader felt ridiculous relying on such primitive tech. The report claimed a black market medical supplies dealer had just escaped from prison due to a surprise attack from Incognito. In that cowardly, greedy man's hands was a wealth of information collected over time, but in the chaos over the night, the man broke free. Thinking about it again, he became annoyed once more. It would be wrong to blame it on his man, but he couldn't help thinking like that. At any rate, victory must be close at hand. The day when Incognito achieves its goal is nigh. When a criminal escapes from prison, there's only one place he can go and hide, and that's his old hideout the nights. He wasn't able to pass up the opportunity, like a mouse falling for a piece of bait. And he was clearly prepared. Even if he's hooked, he'll be able to get anyway. He'll be able to get anyway in one piece. Get away in one piece. He swayed gently, and though recalling a dry punchline. Of course, Incognito's mechas. Looks like our fake bulletin really worked. Miss Lily, I have brought everyone to the perimeter, like you said. The entire block has been vacated. Still, it'll be nice if we can keep damage to the minimum. Don't worry, I'll be careful. Thank you, Sora-chan. Let's do this, Osana. The mechs are in range. Now it's our turn. Roger. Wait, are we gonna fight the mechs? Oh god. Damn, look at her already attacking. Just like Silly said, there's no plotting. There's no one piloting mech, they're just functioning according to the program. There's no trace of an android yet. So the robots have a mind of their own. Okay, I feel like I should do this because a big boy just spawned in. Looks like a big boy. There's a lot of them spawning in. Didn't dodge that one. Okay, I think I'm gonna use ults here. I think this might be. Ooh, god. There we go. Oh, look, a little flower on that robot. Huh. Okay, let's see what's up. Whoa. Oh, there's someone running away. Oh, over there by the warehouse. Oh, crap, let's go. We got him now, Sealy. Let's go. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be mechs spawning in here. As the encirclement began to shrink, the mechas began to retreat until they had completely fallen back. What the hell is this? This is like a van or something. Finally, at the center of the encirclement was a familiar warehouse with an equally familiar truck parked in front. This is Incognito's transport, right? Silly remembered what the child had told her and looked to the rear view mirror. As expected. Oh, look at that! It's the freaking shattered window. Or the shattered side mirror. Just as she said, the mirror was busted. The police had mentioned a truck with a shattered mirror during the safe house attack earlier that day, and to avenge the safe house. As the truck had been empty for a while now, everyone's eyes turned instead to the warehouse. Can you see who's inside? This place is surrounded. I would like to do this without anyone getting hurt. Please come out and surrender. What you have done is wrong and you need to make things right. You are really going... wait, what? You are going pretty easy on me, miss. Exclamation point. This voice, it sounds like Great Serpent. It does sound like Grey Serpent though, but I'm not too sure. I'm sure, but I cannot obey you. I do not fear physical damage, and it is not in my nature to give in to it. In fact, no one can restrain me. I am just one step away from freedom. What are we going to do, silly? She bit her lip and she made up her mind. Let's get into that warehouse. Oh god. The door flung outward. The light of the dusk dimly illuminated the warehouse. Boxes were scattered everywhere, daily household items thrown about. It just looks like it did this morning. Just pieces of machinery on the ground left by Incognito when they broke in and fled. And the one thing that should have been there was missing. Incognito's leader is gone. But he was just talking to us. They looked at the empty space. Discontent, his final words echoed in their minds, but he was nowhere to be found. How could it be? This morning we confirmed there was no other ways in and out of the warehouse. How did he escape? She held her head as she tried to get her thoughts in order. More than his disappearance, what she couldn't get out of her mind was that voice. She had, without a doubt, heard that voice before, up close and face to face, not too long ago, about 380,000 kilometers from where she was. Grey Serpent. But why? Is it really them? In Nagazora? Is someone else operating for the world Serpent, or are they trying to revive themselves? Are you alright, Seely? I'm fine. Since he escaped, there's nothing we can do now. Things are looking more complicated than I first assumed. We'll have to report this to the Shitso HQ. Right. Now that we have collected plenty of information, we had a lot for the professors to analyze. Oh, and Susanna, contact Zora-chan and let her know we'll need a place to stay tonight. Huh? Right. It's a bit drafty here in the it's a bit drafty here in the safe house now. Zora-chan, if you don't mind. I know just the place, and it's not too far from here. You two are for sure to be welcomed. Zora-chan? Ah, I forgot to hang up the phone, didn't I? Yep, I heard everything you said. I have a bit more experience with Grey Serpent, I think. That voice is really familiar, but something about it is different. Alright then, let's go and rendezvous. I'm excited to take you to this place. The recently built Siora's home from the Far East branch. Who's that? Siorach. There was a crisp breeze and the moon was clear as day. The kind of night that suits the soul after a long, hard day. While the real mastermind might be long gone, they can count on each other to put together a full picture of what had happened, and perhaps by tomorrow it would all be finished. This was what Susanna thought as she gave a big lazy stretch. Shioara's home. If I remember correctly, that's the foster home and under the Shioara Foundation. I was reading this really popular thread on the Shikso forums about how Shioara was a legendary assassin. Wait, is Shioara Raven? Oh, never mind, it's a dude. He was a ruthless, kept a low profile, and was well connected throughout the northern hemisphere. He was even respected by local rulers. Earning him the name the One-Eyed Lord. He had perpetrated countless evils in his life, but before his death, he spent his entire life savings on a childhood dream. I can't believe Zora-chan came out of here. She put her hand over her head and looked troubled. I don't understand, Mrs. Sana. Are you saying someone else has made several Shiara's homes? Huh? We'll be going to the first Shiara's home that Sensei built. My Sensei didn't have a as strange a title as the one I lured. She was just called Raven. You know, if it weren't for my Sensei, I wouldn't have met Miss Seeley. After listening to the two's story, Seeley quickly understood. Though she had never met her, she had gotten to know her indirectly though, through other people. A powerful mercenary that was imprisoned after the Great Eruption and only recently released on bail, but she was also a gentle teacher that brought in and took care of orphans. The best way to sum her up was a contradiction. As for why the threats posed were so different from reality, that's mostly due to the other member of World Serpent she had met on the moon, Grey Serpent. She really is an amazing teacher. Without her, I wouldn't have ever been on that amazing adventure where I met Sora-chan. So I'm guessing on the moon. You really can't trust you really can't trust anything on the internet. I'm sorry for saying all of those things about you, Sora-chan. It's alright. Sensei says she's done so many things in her life that can't be forgiven. So she doesn't care what other people think about her, only what we think about her. Did she tell you everything? Sensei found it by herself and went over all questions everyone had asked before, but that she said had never answered even once about her past, what she's doing now, what kind of person she is. She would get really upset after she spoke. Then she'll rub her nose, fixing her hair, and walk around the room. I felt like there was so much more Sensei wanted to tell me, and what she did say was only a few sentences. I have never seen her so nervous before. I think she was worried I'll hate her for her past. Sora was silent for a moment as she tried to piece together an objective, genuine retelling from a vast sea of memories. She tried to convince her prince to like her sensei, weighing each word carefully just as her sensei had with the children that had been with her for years. Perhaps I'm not grown enough yet and I don't understand why things happened the way Sensei had said. But I know that other than ourselves, Sensei must be the person that loves us the most in the world. So I want to be like my teacher, become independent and find my own path while helping others. Oh, that's really nice, Sora. Sounds like our special assistant's action statement. Thank you. Thanks to you, everything has gone more smoothly than ever. Really? I will do my best to keep going. We'll be cheering you on too. Oh, pretty nice to sound on the floor. So we will be meeting your sensei. She runs the place we'll be staying at after all. As much as I love that Sensei left Nagazora after Shiara's home was finished, telling us she still had more work to do as part of her veil. Did she say she was coming back? About that, oh god. Did Raven say she's not coming back? She dipped. Sora ran forward a few steps, turned around and smiled. That's a secret between Sensei and me. Okay, so she is coming back. She is coming back. She's definitely coming back, okay. Walk this way and watch out for any debris on the ground. Thanks for reminding me. I almost tripped. God damn it, Susanna. But you really know your way around this path isn't on the map, but you are still taking us right to where we need to go. When I first came to Nagazora, I watched my every step. I was worried there would be someone out to get me around every corner. Thank Great Serpent for building me, for helping me update Mark II. Otherwise, I wouldn't be willing to travel Nagazora by myself. By yourself? Sora-chan, you don't mean... Yup, I'm not always at Shiara's home. The last time I returned was 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks? Things weren't going so well in Nagazora, and as one of the older children, I had to take on some responsibility. Damn. Don't worry, Miss Silly, I can take care of myself. Even still, what if... Anyway, let's pick up the pace, otherwise we won't make it to Shiara's home in any time. In time. We'll have to solve this quickly. In the bright moonlight and through several narrow alleyways, they finally saw the building hidden behind the trees. It didn't look like how one might expect an orphanage to look, but more like a school campus. That actually looks so friendly. Look at that, man. I would love to walk in there. Yes. Well, I mean, even the well-off and well-traveled Susanna could not help but let out a gasp of surprise. It's gigantic. Turning her hatchlings roost into real homes that they could go back to was what Sensei always wanted to do. As for Shiara's land, which sank before the Great Eruption, Sensei said when she returns, she'll come up with a new version of that idea. After all, Honkai has been eliminated by humanity. You're right. Really looks like she's fighting back laughter. Does she know? Back laughter. I feel like I know these two, but I just don't know who they are based on their voice. Yes, I told you we'll have waited for them to enter first before appearing. Now it's not a surprise. It just looks like we were purposely eavesdropping. Oh, let's get out of here then. Besides, there's too many kids here. Oh God, it's freaking Rosa and freaking Lily. Yes. Jesus, Rosalia and Lilia. Good to see you, Seely. Rosalia and Lilia, what are you doing here? We are a couple of class clowns that bring laughter to our teacher. Where else should we be but here? Rosalia, idiotka. We are the teachers. We are traveling here with the Shiara Foundation. Wandering teachers. That's tutoring teachers. Ah, right, got it. Well, it's getting late. How about I help the kids back to their rooms and you guys find some place to catch up? I'll go with you, Susanna. I haven't seen you in a bit. Oh God. Good idea. With you around, I feel more at ease. Then I'll leave you two to it, but don't forget, we still have to report that information back to the professors. Don't worry, I didn't forget. I'll come find you in a bit. With the children gone, Lilia collapsed on the couch. Much more peaceful than having kids running around all day. Lilia, watch it! How can a tutoring teacher say something like that? Plus, Vodka Girls will be out soon. If someone digs up what you just said after the debut, it will cause a lot of trouble. What? Debut? Rosalia is talking nonsense. Nothing is coming out soon. We're just getting ready for a release is all. Singing, dancing, behavior lessons. We didn't miss a single one during our tour. And we always did our homework. We wanted to know how to become the world's #1 idols, so we asked her. I feel like they were gonna ask, I feel like they asked Teresia, man, because Teresia is the #1 cutie or magical girl or something along those lines. It's either, I feel like it's both of them. Shh. Lilia, we promised Teresia. Ah, there we go. We promised Teresia we wouldn't talk about it. Anyway, Rosalia and I signed up for the talent contest. In a few months, you'll be able to watch us perform on TV. Sounds great. I'll be sure to call up all my friends to vote for you when the time comes. Alright. But it must be hard to take care of children in a foster home while you also take classes, no? To be honest, it can be a bit taxing, but everyone has something they're working hard at, right? Sora-chan, Susana, and Seely too. So we're talking about becoming idols and doing the same thing as before, going through the motions without making any changes. Rosalia tightened her fists as she recalled a book she had read in class. I sat down at the desk in the comfiest position and tilted my hand to the window once more. The mellow smell of wood came from my desk, and the sound of nearby reading was in my ears. I let my body and mind drift into the restful air and quickly closed my eyes. I didn't turn my body once, nor did I notice the drool as it dripped from my mouth onto the textbook. It wasn't until the bell rang and the sun shone in my eyes that I realized what's the difference between us and a sloth. What the fuck? Rosalia? Silly's giving you that same look. That night, Rosalia dragged me along to find Teresa. Other than not wanting to become a sloth, do you have any other reason? If it's justified, I can consider agreeing. We have other reasons, like wanting to always have ice cream with a cherry on top to realize our dreams, or make everyone smile to the words I have heard earlier in a dream. Rosalia, idiot, you were awake then. We were talking about everyone, including Kiana, who is working on the moon. She'll be happy seeing us on TV, just like you guys, the support group, right? That's right, it's... Before she could finish her thoughts, she suddenly felt silent. Then, realizing something, she stomped her feet. Isn't something like that exactly what a Vodka girl contestant would say? No, Lilia, repeat it again. I want to take notes. You won't be shy saying this in front of camera. Well, if your goal is to make everyone smile, Rosalia and Lilia have accomplished that much. That's sweet of you to say, Seely. Rosalia gets embarrassed over the strangest things. Seely noticed a weariness across Lilia's face. That's when she noticed something was wrong. Due to the Aska gene injection, Lilia falls asleep every night at around 7 p.m. And right now, the hour hand was pointing sharply at 8 o'clock. Despite how tired she looked, Lilia showed no signs that she was going to stop talking. Lilia, is it time for bed? Don't worry, Lilia's been sleeping all morning to be prepared for tonight's big reunion. I even told Sora-chan not to tell you as not to ruin the surprise, and it looks like she already fell asleep. Yeah, I'm not sleepy at all right now. She's totally falling asleep. Though there was still much conversation to be had, Seely could see it was time for her to end things for now. So she narrowed her eyes and... Lilia, I'm getting sleepy. Huh? You're tired, Seely? Yeah, at Kokolia's orphanage, Seely would always stay up late talking to Bronya every day. I remember one time you got caught by Matushka Kokolia, and you and Rosalia, who was stealing food from the kitchen, got an earful. And there was that one time with Seely and Bronya. Things have changed a lot since then. We have been out all day and tomorrow, and I have to continue tracking this culprit. Speaking of, you need to be more careful on your tours. I'm off to get some rest too. Rosalia, Lilia, good night. While Seely only wanted to give Lilia an hour so that she could head to bed, She also got up and left.
まだゼーレにルーの場
Lilia,
所
I
を教
don't
えて
think
な
we
い
have
よ
told
ね
Sealy where she'll be staying.
大丈夫
No
だ
need to
よ
worry, Sealy's smart.
ゼーレ
She'll
は
be able
頭がいい
to.
から
And she fell asleep. Ah,
寝ち
she
ゃった
fell
わ
asleep. As your
私はお
sister,
姉ちゃんだから
I'll
さっ
forget
きの
about that
説教の
stuff you just
話は
said.
見逃しておやすみ
Good night,
Lilia.
Lilia.
本当にあの二人は
Whoa, where even are we
つい
now,
何
bro?
も聞かずに慌てて飛び出してきちゃったスーサナさんとクーちゃんは
Susana and
まだ
Sarah
子供
Chan
た
are
ちの世話をして
probably.
る
Oh,
よ
I
ね
can move.
うーん
Oh, I can move. I'll
まず
go
は
ask the
あっ
staff.
ちの
Who's
スタッ
the
フに聞いて
staff?
みよう
Can we talk to this person? Oh, there we go. We can talk. We talk to all of these people?
こんばんは
Hello, do you know where the dorms
噴
are?
水の後ろに
See
ある
the
鉄
iron
の
door
扉を見
behind
まし
the
たが、そ
fountain?
こで顔認証を
After
し
you
て
do a
扉が開
facial
いたら寮に入り
recognition
ま
at
す。
the door, it'll open and you can enter the
でも
dorms.
今、顔
But
認
right
証
now
システ
it's
ムはメンテナ
under
ンス中な
scheduled
ので、
maintenance and
あと
there's
15分程度
15
で終わる
minutes
と、ど急
left.
ぎでしたら
If
ク
you're
ラ
in
レ
a
ンスに
hurry, I
催促
can
してみましょう
rush
か。
Clarence
大
along.
丈夫です
No need, I
適
can
当に
just
歩
hang
き回
around
って
here
あな
for
たが
now.
クロレンスそういえば
Clarence,
月に
speaking
いた
of,
時
speaking
で
of
も
which, on the
同
moon,
じ名前の
but
別の
it
人か
could
もし
just
れな
be
いし
someone with the same name. Huh? Who's that? Looks like a doctor or something. Good
あなた
evening.
は
You are. Oh, you are the one that Rosalia
ここに
mentioned.
泊まっていく子
You'll
で
be
しょ
sleeping overnight, yes?
はい
Yes,
ご迷惑をお
sorry,
か
sorry
けし
for
ま
the
すそんな
trouble.
ことない
Not
わ
at all. The
こ
children
この
here
子は
love
みんなあの
love
姉妹が
those
大
two
好きだし
sisters.
そのお
We
客さんな
welcome
らも
any
ちろん
guest
大
of
歓迎
theirs. Oh, that's nice.
なんだか
She
心
seems a
配事があ
little
るみたい
restless.
の
Did something happen? Oh no, it's nothing important. It's just it's almost bedtime for the children now. But one of them is nowhere to be found. What? That's.
心配しないで
Please don't worry. It's a common occurrence. The children are
子供たちは
at
ま
a
だ遊び
playful
たい年頃
age.
だもの
They were playing hide and
さっきまで
seek, and
ここで
just
かく
now
れんぼ
one
し
of
てた
them
から
must have
きっとまだ見つ
hidden
かっていないの
but
ね
wasn't
じゃ
found.
あ一緒に
Then
探します
I'll look for her
私も
with
ちょう
you
ど
since I'm
顔
waiting
認
for
証システムの
the
メンテナンスが終わるのを待ってたところですから
SS permission.
それじゃあ
Then
お願いするわ
I'm sorry to
私は
trouble
この
you.
辺りで探して
I'll
るか
look
ら
around here if you
も
find
しあの
her.
子を見つけたら
Please bring her to me. The female teacher described how the missing child
わ
looked
かりま
like.
した
I
今
understand.
すぐ行ってきます
I understand. I'll look for her now. Well, I think I saw something over there. Yeah. Huh. It's kind of weird how there were like other people here as well. Is,
あの子かな
she must be looking for that
先生
child
が
that she's
探して
looking
た
for.
子供って
She's playing on the
じゃあ
floor.
先に挨
I'll
拶をし
greet
に行
her
こ
first.
う驚かせないように
That's like what is that
またこ
again?
の
Is this
Chibi.
crack again?
なんだか
I feel so
変な
strange.
感
What
じが
am
する
I? Where are we
私は一
going?
体
What
ど
the?
こ
Where am
Kiora
I?
house.
Ciara's home? No, that's
違
not
う意
it.
識
It's a place
集
where
中的な
there's snow.
あの子見
I
つけない
must
と
find that child. Bro, where are we? This place looks sick as hell, not gonna lie.
あの子だ
Ah, there she is. What? Cursed
Ano?
child?
ここにいちゃ
Little
ダ
girl,
メ
you
だよ
can't load her in a place like this. Let's
早く先
go
生のところに
back to
戻ろ
your
う
teacher. Oh, what the hell?
このモンスターたちは
These monsters. Oh, I can't even use my ult.
ほら
Oh, I'm
私の
trapped
後
in
ろ
the
に隠れ
corner.
てて
Quick, hide behind me. I'll definitely
ここ
save
から
you.
救い出すから
Damn. Oh, she looks like she's tired.
出す
Save you. Yeah, I wasn't even dealing any damage to them. Sealy? Sealy? Huh?
ゼールさん
Sealy, hello. Can you hear me?
聞こえてますか
Huh?
スーサナさん
Susana, I
私
just...
様子がお
You
かし
were
かったんで
acting
す
so strange just now,
立ったまま
standing there in
ぼーっ
a
としてて
daze. You
何度呼んでも
you
答え
didn't
てくれな
respond
くて
even though I called you. I called out to you numerous times. I know you must be sleepy. That can't be helped. I'm really tired from all that missions today. I was helping a teacher who was looking for a child who hadn't gone to sleep. Do you mean that child in the corner just now? She already went back while you were staring into space. Really? Was that scene a delusion caused by my fatigue? No, I'm definitely not that tired. I shouldn't tell Susanna before I get to the bottom of this. It'll only worry her. Yeah, looks like we need rest, but I should contact the professors first. Sure, I have finished chatting with the children too. That's the door to the dormitory. The person in charge has arranged rooms for us. Let's give our report there. I heard that the gate's recognition system is under maintenance. It'll take another 10 minutes before it's done. I see. Oh, then let me use this 10 minutes to share an interesting story. I heard some amazing things from the children just now. For example, there's a boy among them that created a mecha bigger than a human all by himself. That mecha can transform and speak. Even when that boy isn't around, I'll automatically go on patrols, read stories to the children, play games, and watch them do their homework. The Clarence that the person was talking about, could it be shocking, isn't it? And that's not all. That boy came back from his secret base recently and controlled the mecha to collect lots of materials from all over Nagazora. He said that he wanted to build his own sniper rifle and apply to the school where the warrior was trained. When I was his age, I didn't even dare to cross the road on my own. But he already knows his aspirations for the future at such a young age. That's so cool. Yeah, really cool. Huh. Teresa is also considering the idea of a prep school. Maybe that boy will be one of his first students. But the teachers probably won't allow him to bring a mecha to school. I really want to see it for myself though. If it's only bringing him to school, that should be fine. What's this mech that they're talking about? Is that it? After all, that talking Uncle Robo, it will grant all wishes from... Perhaps it was because they knew their comrades were safe, or perhaps the moon stole their hearts away. When the girls reported their work for the day and returned to their rooms, they realized the night was truly very short. It's already so late, but this shows that it has been a productive day. I hope that the professors can find some useful leads from the information we collected. The girl thought about the mission she did during the day to make sure that they didn't miss anything before she could relax, and then she thought of she should still be awake, right? Hello? Is that Bronya? I hear you, silly. Oh, look at that. Bronya, am I bothering you? Of course not. Rather, I only realized that I have been sitting at my desk for 2 hours again because of your call. And it's time for a change of mood. Project Bunny, I will leave this analysis to you too. Bronya, did you forget that I borrowed Project Bunny from you? Can be helped. Looks like I'll have to do all of these tedious work myself. Project Bunny is going to protest at this rate. Ahem. Speaking of which, when do you intend to return it? Okay then. Do you know what your bunny told me? It pleaded for me not to return it so soon. It said that if it gets ordered around endlessly again, it'll break down soon. Arahato is Anti-Entropy's entertainment most renowned production. If its derivative game isn't on par with the original, lots of fans will be disappointed. Also, it has kept me company for a long time and witnessed many special moments in my life. So rather than extrinsic reasons, I don't want to disappoint myself. I don't think you always I think that you always put too much pressure on yourself. You like it, therefore you care about others' opinions, and you don't want to let the past you down. There's nothing wrong with your mindset, but sometimes if you care too much about something, it'll ironically lose its roots. It may even become a curse that obstructs us from moving forward. Just like in the past, a week before a performance at the orphanage, I kept telling myself, silly, you mustn't be nervous. But in the end, you fell before you even got onto the stage, and the paper swords in your hand landed right in my hair. Bronya, you don't have to remember such things so vividly. Alright, I'll stop. I'll listen to you and focus less on others' opinions. But what about you, silly? Did your day in Nagazora go smoothly? Without Susanna or Sora-chan around, we progressed much faster than I thought. Once this mission ends, I can turn from a temporary Shixo member to a real Valkyrie. Looks like you plan to join the anti-Honkai team, or did Durandal recruit you to the Immortal Blades? I'm not sure about that yet, but I do want to be independent just like you. Ah, look at that. But you have already done many great things in New Athra. Everyone has witnessed your growth. I'm clearly not as mature as you or the others yet, and I can't become a good Valkyrie just by familiarizing myself with battles. Grasping the details, planning battle strategies, I still need to learn from all of those, and those are also the aspects I hope to excel in for this mission. Bronya, do you still remember I saw many dreamlands with Teresia in Project Stigma's spiritual atom? Some people lived bitterly and were numb to reality and continued to torture themselves even in those dreams. Others had aged and were gravely ill. To them, their dreamlands were but the last candy that had to offer. But when we explained ourselves and wished for everyone to leave their dreamlands, it was a latter who gave a more resolute response. I think the courage from those elderly wasn't purely from the selfness mentality. It's precisely because they'll experience similar pains and that they wish to let youths cherish all the beautiful things hidden around them. How regretful it would be for one to refuse a rose and leave a garden only because they fear the rose's thorns. Thanks to them and Kiana, who also held the same conviction as they did, the largest thorn in the world has been removed. Naturally, the rest is up to us. Sincerely, those are some great words. Maybe I have listened too much. Maybe I have listened to too much of a Hersher of Saintian's lessons. I don't think so. It's hard to come up with such a conclusion, even with the power of a Hersher. One could only empathize with such feelings if they stepped into the shoes of others and refer to their perspectives. Oh, as a trainee team member, you should have a specialized teacher like Ms. Himiko, right? Of course, if there's no need, I can join. I can also join your team. Well, look forward to fighting alongside with everyone again. As for our teacher, Teresia mentioned she has quite a few recommendations, like Durandal, Rita, or May. Of course, when they weren't on vacation. May? she expressed that she was willing to do it, and she's really good at mentoring others too, but she has only tried it on a particular lazy person. She might have some trouble getting used to someone serious like you. Is that so? I was even thinking that I would treat this mission seriously to give May a surprise. If that's what you are offering, you have to brace yourself, huh? After all, May barely raised her brow when Kiana said Duranda was her sister. The only thing that can surprise her now is Kiana suddenly appearing on the streets and greeting her with a silly smile. But even if May isn't surprised, I am proud of you. Oh, look at that. I believe that Teresia wants Duranda and the others to guide you because she wants them to learn something special from you too. Alright, I'll continue the hard work. We have only been talking about me. What about we haven't only been talking about me. What are you busy with recently? As for me, Mr. Yang asked me to do the project planning for Hato and even gave me lots of past information from the studio. From original art to design archives to production manuscripts. To the whole set of our Hato series figurines. He moved everything that he thought would be useful for the planning to my workstation. At first I wanted to research about this seriously and began to look for inspiration for the new game from those resources. But as a die-hard fan of those series, I can't fully immerse into the perspective of a creator. Most of the time, I'll be busy admiring and would forget about my work. So that's why you're working overtime. I guess so, but I'm very confident about my future product. When the game goes on sale, its continuation would already be in the works. Then we will hold an announcement event for it to double the hype. Silly, do you think we should add some Easter eggs about the past productions and the continuations? Yes! That way we can attract players from the previous game and get funds to continue developing. Yes, that's smart! Yes, do it! When a speaker and listener synchronizes, a normal conversation can extend endlessly, and to put a stop to it, sometimes you need some external intervention. Oh, it's the other silly! Let's go! Are you two done yet? Don't you need to sleep? Though Silly's lips, the other Silly expressed the emotion she had suppressed for a long time. After her exclamation, the two of them fell into silence. Well, Bronya, it's very late now. I still have other things to do tomorrow, so let's stop here for today, shall we? Yeah, I tend to talk too much when it's about games. You should have your mission. You still have your mission to do tomorrow. Rest early. Then I'll be hanging up. Alright. Good night, Silly. Good night, Bronya. After hanging up, the girl laid back at the bed and closed her eyes. She inhaled a deep breath and slowly exhaled, resting for a while in that position. When she had recovered to a more stable state, she carefully called out to her other self in her heart. Silly, are you there? I'm sorry I didn't talk to you much today. Silly, are you sleepy? If so, I won't disturb you anymore. Don't just assume that you're disturbing me. If you have the energy to chat, of course I can keep you company. But don't blame me if Susana or Sora-chan see you snoozing in bed tomorrow. I'm sure you'll wake me up. Who knows? What if I want them to hear you sleep talking? For example, I want to go to beach again with Bronya. Yes. I still want to eat 6 big parfaits. I have never said anything like that. I have heard them all. If you weren't asleep, I would have recorded all that with a voice recorder. Wait, right? You are asleep, so how did I not do so before? But if I really do talk in my sleep, doesn't that mean you're actually watching me as my sleep? I did not. You kept talking and I happened to hear a few times. Just like today when I was chatting with Bronya. That's right, you guys were talking away when you should be sleeping. So loudly too. If this goes on, my mind can't handle it. Sorry. I'll watch when I talk to others from now on. I won't disturb your rest. But sleep talking is out of my control. After this case, I'll go for a check at the hospital. Maybe the doctor can prescribe me some medicine for sleep talking? What? Wait, what are you talking about? What happened to the great Detective Seeley during the day? Or maybe you didn't realize it, that I was just teasing you. You don't talk in your sleep much, just once or twice a month. You don't disturb me when you talk to those two dummies and Bronya either. I just thought that you're really too tired, so you should rest early. That's why I said all that. Really, why are you so tense at times like this? I see. If you can hear me talk in my sleep, even though it's just once or twice a month, doesn't that mean that every day you are... What's the point of talking about this? Skip it, talk about something else, and hurry up and go to sleep. Alright. You have really done a lot today. Yeah, I didn't notice it during the day, but now that I think about it, I think that I'm pretty amazing. Yep, you have grown up a lot since that time in New Athra. After this mission, or maybe after you have trained under Mei for a period of time, I believe you'll fulfill your mission of becoming someone independent. Seeley, don't get all emotional now. I'm not saying this just to encourage you. What was it again? This is an absolute conclusion denuded from careful observation. Regardless, you just have to keep up with the momentum and push forward. And I'll also always be watching over you. Just watching isn't enough. I still need your help and suggestions. After all, the independent me that I wish to become is you, Seeley. What are you talking about? You said I want to become independent just like you, Bronya. I want to become independent like Bronya, and I want myself to be independent. Aren't mutually exclusive, but a stretch. It's not. I can only protect us if I become independent. Then I don't have to worry about you disappearing abruptly, and we can face strong, fearsome opponents like here together. Yeah. Anyway, enough about that weird woman. Just talking about her makes me angry. If she dares to appear again, we'll beat her up. Oh god. Jesus. Whether we beat her or not, we need to show her our true power. Alright, just like you said, we'll show her our power. Okay, enough of this silliness. Hurry up and go to bed. I thought she already was to bed. Oh, alright. This child. Should I say that she grew up or not at all? But if that day really comes, never mind. We have been together for so many years after all. Is it normal to feel sad, right? Oh, where are we? The next morning, Seeley was awoken by the notification from her communicator. She quickly woke up Susanna, who was in the next room door. Good morning, Seely, Susanna. The time in Nagazora now is, I'm sorry for waking you guys up so early. But in return, I have brought undoubtedly great news. Oh, that's good. It's fine, lack of sleep won't trouble a true Valkyrie. Did you learn anything about incognito? That's right, and Seely's guess was proven correct. Could it be... Seely, you were mistaken about that voice. That voice belongs to the ex-cadet of World Serpent, Great Serpent, or rather one of his remaining bodies. One of his remaining bodies. That's crazy. We have analyzed the resources that Susanna obtained in Nagazora, especially the products that Incognito attempted to take from the pharmaceutical companies. Bioprosthetics, electronic eyes, artificial organs. The model numbers of these products match with those of the recorded from a Grey Serpent's body parts. In other words, medical machines and products that Incognito is looting for in Nagazora are precisely what's needed to create the new Grey Serpent. This can't be a coincidence. But if Grey Serpent is already a member, why are they making all of these efforts to create another one? Maybe his original body has been damaged and he needs some spare parts? Yeah, because last time with May's fight against World Serpent, I think, the World Serpent, got killed, right? Which that eliminated Grey Serpent due to that other Grey Serpent killing Grey Serpent, right? But what would require them to collect every part needed for his body, right? If he's already been utterly broken down, then he wouldn't be able to join all those raids. Indeed, that makes sense. According to May, that's bad English right there. According to May and the others' previous report, Grey Serpent's network has already self-destructed, but it's precisely because they self-destructed. There's a supposition for why the fellow is collecting materials for a body, one that's much more convincing than simply collecting spare parts. I said that the medical and bionic parts looted match those of a Grey Serpent's body, but that's only one thing. But that's only one of the common purposes these products have. Aside from that, these are they also have another purpose that state-of-the-art bionic products serve: simulation. That's right, to use artificial body parts and organs to simulate a human's natural body and organs as much as possible. They can't understand if you face it that way, mophead. For example, the simplest form of a prosthetic leg is to connect a carbon fiber tube to a metal dome that replaces the leg, a design purely meant to walk. Although such a prosthetic can recover a certain degree of a limb's movement for the user, a carbon fiber tube is nothing like a human shin, and the metal dome is nothing like a human's foot. It's not just about the appearance. The kind of prosthetic cannot provide tactile sensations because there's no original connection to the neural system. Even if the prosthetic was able to break or be damaged, the user wouldn't feel any pain. Huh? Isn't that a good thing? Of course, this saves a lot of trouble and lowers the resources needed to make the prosthetic. However, in recent years, more and more of the disabled wish to have prosthetics that are similar to their original body. I want real skin. I want to feel pain and warmth. I want blood to flow within. I want to look like a human. That's simulation. Yes, simply put it, it's not only about the function. The prosthetic's appearance and sensation has to seem like a real limb or organ. Incognito's Grey Serpent is looking for a prosthetic like this. Almost all of the products they have located for this category. Alright, among the rated medical companies, there's one named Neopolis Pharmaceutical, right? That company. I'm sure you can guess from its name. It was condemnable relations with the infamous Heliopolis life sciences. But before the Great Eruption, the company was one of the biggest researcher and manufacturer of bionic prosthetics. Which is to say, maybe the Great Serpent in Incognito wants to look like a human and will raiding facilities like Neopolis Pharmaceuticals again. It's highly possible after making a checklist of all of the bionic prosthetics that the Great Serpent needs, we realize he is still missing 2 parts. These parts can only be made by Neopolis Pharmaceutical, but Neopolis Pharmaceutical is a big company with tight security. Before the Incognito fiasco ends, it probably won't announce any other valuable products. Storing those goods in its headquarters core area is probably the safest method. In that case, Incognito's next raid target is probably the Neopolis Pharmaceuticals headquarters. That's right, we just need to get there preemptively and wait for the Great Serpent to come to us. Oh, okay. A little ambush they're planning on doing. Roger that. Ceiling and I will head to Neopolis Pharmaceuticals headquarters now. If we explain our intentions to the people in charge, they will probably agree to let us in for an ambush, right? I doubt that. I don't have high hopes. A company like Neopolis Pharmaceuticals that lurks in the gray area of the law doesn't like outsiders in their territory, even if we're there to help. In that case, we could only sneak in or use assertive methods. Yeah, don't let our efforts go to waste. We stayed up all night for this. The red-haired professor pointed to herself with her thumb before hanging up. Let's go, Susanna, to Neopolis Pharmaceutical. Yeah, this time we won't let Incognito get away. Neopolis Pharmaceuticals headquarters. Wow, there are so many mechs walking around here. The security sure is tight. Oh, yeah, I remember last time I had a lot of tries to do it. I think we can. Oh, God. Look closely. They seem to be the same type of model as the mechs that Incognito uses. Could it be? Let's hurry inside and see. Could we, like, sneak kill them? Yeah, we can, right? Yeah, we can. Okay. I feel like that's gonna sound an alarm. Okay, never mind then. Let's go down here. We can walk in that water here. I have no idea where we need to go, but I'm gonna follow that blue little diamond on the screen right there. Ooh, okay. Oh, please don't turn. Let's actually kill you so we don't get into trouble for that. Let's actually run fast. Kill you before you turn. Who else is left? I think we actually made it without any trouble. Okay. Alrighty, we made it without dying. Bug. It's strange indeed. Along the way, it's strange indeed. Along the way here, we haven't seen anyone, just those weaponized mechas. And those mechas, it's the model type and equipment obviously belong to Incognito. It's very likely that Incognito has already taken over this place. We came too late, or maybe the Great Serpent already got... We came too late? Oh no, maybe the Great Serpent already got the bionic parts he wanted and escaped. Let's not get hasty. I think that he hasn't gotten them yet. Otherwise, he wouldn't have left all of these mechas behind to surround Neopolis Pharmaceutical. He should be somewhere in the building. Let's hurry and see if there are any marks he left leading to the warehouse or research labs. Alright. So we're gonna do a little bit of exploring. Okay, let's go ahead and move here. See, look, it says that the elevator leads to the underground research center. Oh god, we're moving. Oh, never mind. Okay, there we go. Whoa, it's already attacking us. I'm gonna use our force here to do AoE damage to them. Which will obviously be shown. Also, I think there was one that jumped, right? Oh god. Someone managed to dodge that in place. Let's actually use our ult here. I think both of them are there. I think we can use our ult again. AoE damage to them. Oh god. I don't think I clicked that, but if I did, I probably did. Okay, let's go. Let's go, Susanna. Oh. Oh. Okay. Wait, where's Susanna? I think she was left behind, bro. The wide elevator descended steadily and finally came to the slow stop. The elevator door opened silently, revealing the scene before their eyes. This is Neopolis Pharmaceuticals' underground lab. Those organs in that refining cabin are just really artificial, right? Wait, Susanna, I feel like someone else is here. Silly was right, and the person she felt had no intentions of hiding himself. Gray Serpent! Who's there? Put your hands in the air. This is your only warning. Calm down, Susanna. As expected, it's great. It's the Gray Serpent. ... They could not see the expression on the masked man. He did not speak, but merely tilted his head as he observed the two girls with slight interest and unseemly effective red light flashing through his prosthetic eye. Silly, why isn't he speaking? Perhaps he's waiting for us to question him. Then we will. Hey, Great Serpent thing over there. We are the Shixo special research team sent to Nagazora. You are the mastermind behind Incognito's wrecking havoc throughout the city, aren't you? ... You can't deny we already caught you red-handed. Stop resisting and follow us. ... Hey, Silly, he's not reacting at all. Maybe he's just a specially programmed android as well? Then shall we try to go a little closer? Yeah, but be very careful. Before she could finish, the Great Serpent shook his body and made a strange clicking sound. Before the two girls' bewildered eyes, the Great Serpent's head fell out and landed on his head in front of his waist. What the fuck? What the? As expected, you can only get this kind of reaction when performing a robot dance with a mechanical body. Huh? Your head? Before they realized, the Grey Serpent's head was reattached normally on his shoulders. It was done so quickly as if the chilling scene had never happened at all. You're right. Now that I think about it, you're an artificial body. There's nothing strange about being able to remove your head. And you are finally willing to speak? My apologies. I didn't mean to disrespect or disdain with silence. With my silence just now. It was just part of the performance. Performance? Yes, in layman's terms, it's creating the atmosphere. As long as I don't speak, I will seem more and more mysterious to both of you. When you finally succumb to the allure of your curiosity, you will unconsciously come closer. Then there will be a perfect opportunity to perform my trick just now. How was it? Did it give you a scare? Silly. This fellow seems to be a really weird one. Weird? Me? No, I'm just your average Joe. The most average a person can be. Alrighty, man, average Joe. My dream is to be an average and normal person. Young lady, let me ask you, if I had a body of flesh and bones just like you, would you have applauded my previous performance? How could a body of flesh and bones do what you just did? Of course it can. About 4 months ago, there was a talent show in North America. A dancer, oh no, a magician I suppose, used his shocking body combined with some accessories to complete such a performance. His head seemed to fall out of his shoulders down to his waist. Truly, when I saw that scene, I was filled with indescribable admiration. I immediately tried to imitate that performance, and I was able to do it within an hour. In fact, I did it more perfectly because my head really dropped off. What the hell? However, nobody cheered for me. At least I can only use it to scare young ladies like you. Why? That dancer received thunderous applause. The reason is only made for the flesh of... The reason is only those made out of flesh are real humans. Only real humans hold meaning and value. Nobody will praise a robot regardless of how neatly it places foods. But a chef with incapable knife work could be wisely praised as an artist. There are many other examples regardless on how fast transportation tools may be. Nobody will think that they are dexterous, but even a child would have heard of the 100-meter race champion. What are you trying to say? I told you only real humans hold meaning and value. If one desires to have meaning and value, one must become a real human. I see. You looted all of those bionic prosthetics not to act as spare parts, but because you wanted a body of flesh. You are smart, Miss Shixel Special Search Member. I probably know your name in the past, but after receiving 1,904's amazing blessings, now that I'm more human-like, I ironically cannot remember it. But look, I cannot choose how I am born, but I can choose what I wish to become. Oh god, I skipped some parts. Mr. Grey Serpent, as you chase after your dreams, aren't you forgetting something? Stealing, arson, robbery, legal possession of weapons, of dangerous weapons, destruction of public property, violent assault. If you want to become a real human, then atone to your crimes like a rational human. Seely and Susanna exchange eye contact in unison and carefully surrounded the Grey Serpent from both sides. Regrettably, I cannot abide by your rules and restrictions before I become a real human. What's with his double standards? A flexible mortal standard is one of the weapons, of the human weapons used to survive, or rather, I'm more than a regular human when I do this, no? I realize what this fellow says seems to make sense at first, but he's actually just spouting nonsense. Yeah, let's just arrest him, Susanna. Are they actually gonna arrest him? I doubt it. Oh, he's actually... No, never mind. He's actually gonna try to fight. Okay. Oh yeah, look, he's standing over there. I thought he left. No, don't mind me here, man. Let me just quickly do this. Use my ult. Oh, I'm frozen. Let's just use my ult here. There's so many of these here. Did I maybe use my ult here on Susanna? Do AoE damage like this, I guess. There we go. I did the AoE damage with Susanna and all of them died. GG's. Whew, we are finally done. I didn't think that he'll be so persistent. Looks like he's finally exhausted his storage. In the rather cramped underground lab, mechanical limbs and fragmented parts were scattered all over the floor. Grey Serpent casually sat at the railing by the side, no longer summoning new weapons. He raised his head slightly as if everything that had happened around him did not matter. Even after such a long fight, none of the other Incognito members came to save you. Are you really an important member in that organization? Grey Serpent laughed softly upon hearing that, sounding rather delighted. Susanna. I don't think other incognito members exist at all. Yeah, it's just one dude, right? Huh? Ever since we came to Nagazora, we have been fighting mechas or robots. Aside from him, we have never met a living incognito member. And throughout our investigation, we have never found anything related to the appearance of other incognito members or any witness testimonies, only him. And Incognito's motive is to collect bionic prosthetics for Great Serpent, so he should have a high rank in the organization, but he's always been in the front line for these operations alone with no support. So this is unreasonable indeed. So I'm guessing that the whole Incognito organization is but smoke and mirrors set up by this Great Serpent from the beginning. You have been the only member of Incognito, haven't you? So all of the rumors about hundreds of members, countless mechas and lockdown operations, those are also, yes, all a disguise to make the existence of Incognito organization more convincing. From the start, this Great Serpent was our only enemy. Clap, clap, clap. I thought that making this seemingly huge organizations would be enough to confuse those who pursue me and hide my true motives. I have never imagined that the prospective audience this was but a cheap performance. Mr. Great Serpent, why do you want a body of flesh? Great Serpent raised his body slightly. His prosthetic eye looked behind Celia as if he was looking through the wall in a distance. Since you know my name, you should also know what a Great Serpent is like. You guys are mechanical, artificial life created by world serpents. If all of you have different personalities, but have the same type of body, and share memories and consciousness to the Great Serpent network, yeah, that's pretty much it. But the Great Serpent that you have interacted with or heard of must be the complete models, right? Complete models? In other words, regardless of their personality, mental age, self-proclaimed genders, likes and dislikes, those Great Serpents have a complete persona, right? Are you saying they are Great Serpents who don't have one? Of course. There's one right before you, or rather, I used to be one of those incomplete models. Not all Great Serpents have complete and stable personas upon gaining consciousness. Due to the random algorithm, about 30% of the Great Serpents have an incomplete soul. We can only live like this with the simplest of robots. That can happen? It's reasonable that you don't know, as we don't have the ability to move autonomously. Naturally, we cannot interact with the outside world. However, the Great Serpent did not abandon us. In spite of this, we were taken to a particularly secluded underground workshop where we observed memories to complete or repair our incomplete personas using the Great Serpent's network. It's said that with enough time you will become a complete model, but mockingly, the Great Serpent network no longer exists. That's right. For the complete Great Serpents, this resembles freedom and liberation, but for us, we are like fetuses that had our umbilical cords forcefully removed. What the hell? Then, Mr. Great Serpent, how did you survive and obtain a complete persona? Just a stroke of luck. When I woke up, the scene before my eyes was no different from that of hell. What the hell? Jesus. Familiar bodies surrounded me, the same limbs, masks, and eyes that I have. I immediately realized what had happened. The network no longer exists, and my siblings around me will never have a chance to wake up again. Wow. Yes, I was just a little luckier. I managed to awaken with complete consciousness before the network disappeared. When I crawled over their lifeless bodies, I had already decided how I wanted to live the rest of my lives. Damn, so he's gonna die over time? Is that what it's saying? I want to find a real body of flesh for my soul, a temple that can truly inherit my heart. I want to leave this cold man coffin, never to remember those dark, chilly, inhuman feelings of disgust. Thus, my convention with a living body. Clever, Miss Seeley. He paused occasionally while he spoke, as he's trying to remember the conversation, and he correctly called out the other's name. I sympathize with your limitation and admire your perseverance, Mr. Grey Serpent, but I cannot agree with your perspective. Huh? Even without a body of flesh and blood, even without a body at all, the soul also the soul is also a form of life. I don't agree with how you view that as a flawed existence. Silly. Seems like you also have some personal experience that allows you to behave differently in contrast with my beliefs, but unfortunately, our time is up. Huh? Truly, I would love to hear your story, but now it's not the time. Huh? Suddenly, the Grey Serpent swayed and his head fell off yet again, but this time it did not fall to his waist. It rolled straight onto the ground. Darn, it was a clone? Bingo. Oh, shoot. Damn! Grey Serpent is back. Look at that. Sheesh. A Grey Serpent made from the spare parts on the ground? Hurry and catch him. Well then, until we meet again. The Grey Serpent's real body agilely climbed into the vent next to him, and the sounds of explosions followed after. Seeley and Susanna rushed forward, but found that the vent had been firmly blocked by rubble and debris. Hurry, let's take another route. How is it? Have you found him? No, it looks like we let him get away. The two looked at each other with helpless expressions. Suddenly, it seemed like Susanna had thought of something. I got it. Hmm? Seeley, do you remember how you trapped the Grey Serpent in the warehouse yesterday? But he vanished as he had evaporated? Maybe it's the same tactic. You mean, there was nobody in the warehouse, just boxes and spare parts strewn all over the floor. Those are actually Grey Serpents, right? He was the same. He split himself into numerous pieces to pretend that he has already gone somewhere else, which means he was actually in the warehouse. He patiently waited for us to leave before recovering his original form, and leisurely left. Oh, I see. That fellow fooled us with the same trick twice. He slipped away right under our noses twice. Yes. Susanna and Seeley looked at each other again. This time the both showed a bitter smile. Their exhaustion began to surface slowly, like shells left behind by receding sea waves. Of course, aside from that, a clear passage could be seen on the beaches, but who knew if this narrow path would lead to somewhere ominous. To solve this case in Nagazora, they continued to hurry about. And that just ends Act 2 of Chapter 36, and it looks like Grey Serpent is back in town.